take him to the cross. The Bible begs.
Man, I am not feeling this NSYNC reunion.
These verses, that's how I got saved. The Holy Ghost is what I crave.
It's funny you should play this.
Jesus makes me feel this way.
I like the
Take him to the cross.
take him to the cross.
Come here, child.
I like the distinction between people who say Holy Ghost and Holy Spirit, because they're a little bit more, I don't know, Spirit feels a little bit more elegant than Ghost. But Holy Ghost, it feels very old-timey to me. But what were you saying, William?
After that Mesmerica thing ended, because it's a lot of, so it's by this guy named James Hood, and he's just talking about, I hope you go through life with love and compassion for every
That's the
living
narrator.
being. Yeah, it's the narrator and the composer. So he's saying all this stuff, and someone took offense to that, and at the end, like this probably 20-year-old girl standing and goes, all things are possible through Jesus Christ, and that's
really?
the only way.
Oh, wow.
And these two or three older black ladies turn around and goes, child. And I was like, I don't think he was talking bad about Jesus Christ. I think he was just saying, like, care for each other and love each other and have a good life.
Boy, people that are really into Jesus are so insecure about God. I don't understand it.
It was
anybody who says anything that is not completely in line with the, they get all
and
they
again,
get their undies in a twist.
It sounds, everything that I took away from it was like a very positive, loving message.
Yeah.
But I guess,
Are you guys familiar at all with the New Testament?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that's fallen in line with what they stood up at the end.
I was watching.
Maybe they were waiting the whole time. What did they think they were going to see?
I don't know. I don't think anyone really knew what they were going into with that thing, but I enjoyed it.
Sure.
I also got into a TikTok rabbit hole this weekend, and it was a guy that was talking about, he was a former like evangelical minister, and he's talking about all the different ways they use to try and, you know, like the money aspects of it, where it's not about anything other than numbers, which I can relate to as being a Mormon missionary. They're very big on numbers. They love numbers. They wanted you to bring in new converts constantly. That was all it was about.
Because that means more money.
More money, more, more growth, more people born into it.
More money.
And that's when they really start, you know, you get those people that are born into it.
Right.
They really love it.
Anchor babies. Mormon anchor babies.
And
well, because each new convert is someone who's expected to tithe.
Yeah, and to the point where they track if you go to a different congregation or a different mass or whatever it is. Like they
How do they do that?
They check your social media and all these different ways of doing it. They have access to a lot of people's bank accounts.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of automatic deposit withdrawal or whatever for their tithes?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, but that's all stuff you go into knowingly and willingly, right? I mean, if you're in LDS.
Well, in LDS, yes, but I'm talking about these evangelical churches that are at war with each other to
I see.
Like they're franchise churches.
Yes.
So
they're like in an old J.C. Penney.
Yeah, you buy the franchise in order to have the church there, and you're trying to, you know, it's the pyramid scheme of churches.
It's like a religious Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Which sounds redundant, but follow me. Yeah, it's like opening up, like you said, franchises.
Just, I thought it was very interesting. And the guy that was talking about this is still a devout Christian. He is just fed up with the monetization of churches, and he's trying to shed some light on that and be like, hey, this is not what Jesus had intended.
Right.
And people get so mad.
Well, there is a you're hearing more and more of that, of people who are kind of like, I don't like what people have done with religion or Jesus or whatever with respect to politics. This guy Jelly Roll, did you see that viral clip of Jelly Roll that went around?
I just saw the guy on the roof of Blossom.
Yeah, Jeremiah over at KISS was telling me about that. I couldn't find anything on it. Jelly Roll was just at Blossom the other night. And I couldn't find anything on some dude who climbed the bandshell or whatever.
I just saw it on the I Am From Cleveland Instagram.
Well, and again, I've heard of Jelly Roll. I think I know what he does, but I've never heard any of his music. But he's really blown up. And there's a viral clip of him going around where he's like, I don't like at all what people have done with with Christianity and, all this stuff that people hate. He's like, that's all. Jesus was hanging out with hookers and sick people and immigrants and, but it went viral over the weekend. And again, that was my introduction to Jelly Roll. Because that's a guy that I hear people talking about. I don't know what his stuff is. I've never taken a second to listen to any of his music, but he's very, very popular right now. I don't know what his hit is. Do you happen to know what his hit is?
Whatever is the top song on Spotify, I imagine.
Because it is country.
Yeah,
he's a country artist, right?
I was told he's a country artist that tried to do the rap thing and then pivoted into country.
I never get lonely.
Boy, what a weird pivot.
Yeah.
I really wanted to be a rapper, and boy, screw me, because I prematurely got all my face tattoos. And then you go, well, I guess it's not that huge of a pivot because there's a lot of white kids love rap.
Yeah.
And so if you're living in the middle, I don't know where he's from, but if you're living in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky, and you're banging rap out of your Jeep or whatever. He's from Antioch. He's from outside Nashville, Tennessee. But he's really having a moment right now. But again, he's got the face tattoos. He's got the hot blonde wife. So he's absolutely figuring out the country genre. He's got it figured out so far.
Let me see Jelly Roll's wife.
Bunny XO is his wife. And, they're both tatted up, but she's got the bat lashes and the bleach blonde hair and the whole thing. And I say, good for him. They've been married since 2016. Bunny XO, which tells me she's got her own thing going on if she's got a stage name or whatever. But anywho.
So he was basically saying, can you play the clip of him talking about that?
I think there's some profanity at the end, but I think if I bail out of that, it was him sitting in a ring with some other guys. I think it was him, the only guy I recognized. I think he was probably on Andrew Schultz's podcast. And they were talking about, I don't know where the clip is. It made its way into my algorithm over the weekend. So it's probably, I'm sure it's part of a larger clip, but people can find it. I mean, I don't have it in front of me. People can find it. Mm-hmm. By the way, Taylor Swift is not the only pop star who is moving the economic needle. Because speaking of viral clips, anytime Britney Spears does something now, post-conservatorship, everybody was saying, free Britney, let her do her own thing. It seems that now that even though she's not in conservatorship anymore, she's doing the same things she was doing before. So now with this newfound freedom, she's just doing the same thing. She's in her house dancing, and she was dancing with knives, and all these people were freaking out. And then she freaked out when someone called the cops over to her house to do a wellness check. She had been using prop knives. And apparently, once that video blew up, because I think she name-checked the place she got them in L.A., and now this place in L.A. has been saved from financial ruin because of Britney Spears using their prop knives. It's a place called the Hand Prop Room in Los Angeles.
That is influence.
And he's like, we were ready to close up shop. And then Britney Spears does one of her goofy videos, and now they're like, our traffic online and our phones ringing off the hook. Now, again, I don't quite understand the cause and effect there. I mean, yeah, she was dancing with some prop knives, and I don't know why people go, oh, my God, I got to call this store because she had some prop knives. But maybe that's not for me to know. But they rent all kinds of stuff. They rent props and knives and, as the name implies. And they said that they've been getting calls nonstop. It calls Britney Spears' post. And so they have said Britney's video has gone a long way into keeping us open. Because obviously, the writers and actors strikes are going on. In normal times, a place like this would be flush because you're renting out props for productions.
Writer strike is done, though.
It is, but the SAG-AFTRA strike's still going on.
Right.
I mean, you can have all the writers you want, but if the actors aren't doing anything, the productions, they're not shooting things. So this place has really been struggling. So I know everybody loves and I think rightfully so, to crow about the impact that Taylor Swift has on the culture and on economics, you know, when she goes town to town. But you got to give some up for Brit, too. But, yeah, again, the conversation over Britney Spears' conservatorship, once that ended, I thought we were going to see her, like, driving around and having dinner and doing stuff she said she couldn't do before. But to my eyes, there's been no change pre to post conservatorship. It's still her dancing in her house, looking like she hasn't slept in 72 hours. So even though, you know, the people that were in charge of all of her business before are kind of going, see? But people were worried they were real knives, and of course they were prop knives. Hey, I've got money to give to you. We are back on our bull shrimp with money for you, courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie. You get $1,000 an hour. So I hope you win. You got plenty of chances today, about 30 past the hour here. And here's your first one from us today. So good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Deposit. That's deposit. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
In the last break, I'm not usually prone to impulse buys, but an email came to me at just the right time, and they already had all my information. So it was literally just a couple of clicks, and I ordered a couple of Lou Malnati's deep dishes in the break. I haven't done it in a while, but they got me at just the right time.
Was there like a deal or something? Or
Nope.
They're just like,
Nope.
hey, get one of these.
Yup.
Yeah.
$76.99 for two of them.
Oof. Dude. You're ridiculous.
Hoofa. Well, they got me at the right time.
Somebody got a good check, I guess. I don't know.
It's so easy, by the way, when you're on a website that's got your information, or that you just
That's why.
They have
Amazon gets me all the time.
because I've ordered from them before. They go, hey, would you like us to?
I gotta do it.
Yes.
Well, click-a-roo.
Yep.
And then you get $70 worth of pizza.
$77.
$77. Oh, dude.
$76.99 for two Lou Malnati's deep dishes that are going to be sent to me, shipped in dry ice. It is worth it. It's worth every red cent.
I liked it. And I appreciate that you bought me one.
Yeah.
Or you bought me two.
Yeah.
And they were good.
Yeah.
I would not do it myself.
Understood.
Not worth
Like
$80.
I said, I haven't done it in a while either.
Yeah.
But they just got me at the right time.
Yeah.
Got me at the right time.
Got you on carb week?
Huh? No, I'm not going to have them like right away. I'll put him in the freezer and then
Save them for a special occasion.
Yeah,
a bit.
special occasion. Right. Alan Jelly Roll was in prison. Has a documentary.
Oh,
Okay, well, yeah. I mean, who doesn't love a good prison documentary?
Little rags to riches story. We love it.
We watched a documentary last night called The Pez Outlaw. Have you watched this on Netflix?
No.
About a guy in the 70s who was going overseas to Europe and Hungary and these countries and smuggling Pez dispensers back in the United States, to the utter consternation of Pez America, because there was a Pez USA corporation and there was Pez in Europe. And this guy would go over and he'd bribe a couple of dudes at the factory, because there's a massive collectors community, right? And this guy would go over there and he would just bring back giant duffel bags of thousands of Pez dispensers that weren't available in the United States. They were either like pre-production or, And listen, I liked Pez when I was a kid. I didn't collect the dispensers, but if you've ever known somebody who collects those dispensers, it's wild how many kinds of Pez dispenser they've made. And so people who...
There's like 20 or 30 of them, at least.
At least 20 or 30. I think you're right. But they were talking to other people in this community, and they're like, what's the most you've ever spent? Because these people would go and set up tables at toy shows and comic book shows and things like that. And that's how it would make their money. And this guy was just rolling in dough from bringing these back. And he was only able to do it because Pez had neglected to register their trademark with customs. So it was their oversight that basically meant this guy wasn't doing anything illegal. And so he kept, now how he was able to keep doing that and they didn't figure it out, I don't know. But this guy was just making money hand over fist. And they're talking to these other people who are in this collecting community, and their entire homes, their walls, they've got cabinets full of, you know, valuable Pez dispensers, but they're not selling them. And they were talking to, and they all have Pez hats and, you know, and they were talking to this one woman. She goes, I think the most I've ever spent on one dispenser was $11,000. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So you're just buying that and putting it in there somewhere. So I guess your kids, who probably couldn't give a fat frog's ass about Pez dispensers, kids or grandkids, are going to be like, cool, we're set. But this guy who called himself the Pez Outlaw, like, put both his kids through college on the money he made from selling overseas Pez dispensers to these people. This is wild. But, you know, there's so many documentaries.
I'm a bootlegger, Jerry.
I'm a bootlegger.
I'm Pez bootlegger.
But, you know, there are so many documentaries now. The most popular ones are like true crime, alien, things like this. Was just like a feel-good documentary, right? It was kind of rags to riches to rags, but it was, nobody got hurt. It was a testament to American ingenuity. And it was, yeah, it's a good 90 minutes. Somebody looking for a doc to watch.
I might check that one out. I did a lot of scary movies this weekend. I watched Insidious for the first time, and
oh, you'd never seen that?
I'd never seen that, and I never saw Hereditary, so I watched those two, and Hereditary was awesome.
I thought Hereditary was overrated, but I liked it. It was intense.
It was very intense.
Have you watched No One Will Save You?
No.
On Hulu?
I have not.
All right.
What's that one about?
I was talking about the girl. There's like one line of dialogue in the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Aliens come down and the girl's in her house.
Okay.
And,
I saw the trailer for that last week, and the toes made me laugh.
Oh, yeah, the little finger toes.
Yeah, the finger toes are too stupid. I don't know if I can watch that one and get scared.
Well.
Because the stupid finger toes.
Spoiler alert.
It's in the trailer.
I know. Finger toes.
Finger toes.
Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff.
Hey, guys, I heard you talking about the mega prison they're building and then the one in Garfield Heights. Now, do you guys remember in the 80s when they tried to turn Manhattan Island into a prison? Did not end well. Did not end well.
Oh, Gene from Parma.
do remember that.
Yes, of course.
Snake Plissken really threw a wrench in that.
Oh, the president has been kidnapped, and oh man, who could forget when he had to? What was that movie called? Get Out of Manhattan.
It was
called Get Out of Manhattan, I believe, and it was
Escape from from that island.
Oh, okay. You know what Snake Plissken's real name was in the movie?
Johnny Butts-a-Lot.
Johnny Butts-a-Lot. Yeah, nailed it. Yeah. Johnny Butts-a-Lot was his name in the movie. His name was Bob. Oh. Bob Pliskin. Of course, John Carpenter does all the music for those movies, too, so they all sound like a cat that's just learning the piano, but love Escape from New York.
Hey, the music that John Carpenter did has become a genre in itself.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Because this is a lot
the
like
Thing and yeah.
This is very similar to the music that they used in Mandy, and like there's so many people that have imitated this kind of music for their movies.
I've got to take a break. If you want to send a text, 35192. If you are a Rush fan, I've got passes for you to see Geddy Lee when he comes to town.